guys, what's up? I'm Greg, he's Q, together with Mr. Happy 0121, and today we're not doing a food review. We're doing a movie review.
That's right.
We never do movie reviews because normally, no matter how big the movie, we wait until it's been out like a month. We waited 3 weeks for Star Wars.
3 weeks. You know how hard it is to avoid the spoilers for Star Wars for 3 weeks?
It wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't easy for me because I didn't avoid it.
You knew?
Yeah, I knew. I think we talked about that, but yeah, it was a bad situation.
You knew that was going to die?
I knew.
That's horrible.
It was horrible.
Did it ruin the movie experience for you?
No, not at all, actually.
Okay. I didn't know because I just didn't pay attention to what anyone said.
Neither did I, but...
But in this case, we didn't have to wait. We didn't have to avoid spoilers because we went on the third day. Actually, kind of the third and a half day. It was released Thursday night. To a packed movie theater, which I hate, but we forgave it for this one instance. Literally standing room only on the showing we went to, and apparently had been that way all day.
We're lucky we got there when we did. I feel like if we got there any later, we wouldn't have
We would have been sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. Lucky for 20th Century Fox, though, this movie cost $58 million to make.
Sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but most action movies, $100 million easy. This movie could have cost $100 million. Little did they know as of Sunday night, of us making this video, the last count is $250 million worldwide.
Wow.
So they've made their money back. They have redeemed themselves for some really bad X-Men movies early on at 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
A lot of people wanted to take the license away because, you know, these are Marvel characters. In comic books, they belong in the same universe as the Avengers and Spider-Man. And God help us, the Fantastic Four, which 20th Century Fox just totally bofoed recently. But in this case, they were the only ones that could make this movie because, you know, Disney would have never made a hard R movie.
Oh, no.
Now, if you haven't seen the movie, quit watching because we're about to get into some real big spoilers. This video will still be here in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a year from now. Don't let us ruin the movie because we're about to talk about it. So go away. But on your way out the door, give us a thumbs up anyway, because what we're going to say is really going to be great. We hope. And YouTube's back to screwing up our view count, so every thumbs up helps. All right, good times. Here comes the spoilers. Disney would have never made an R-rated movie where the hero at the end just murders the bad guy, shoots him right in the face. Or where the hero takes anal probing from a gigantic dildo strapped on, you know, attached to his girlfriend. Things of that nature. Would have happened in a Disney movie, but needed. These things were vital to the plot of this movie.
They were.
He needed to be penetrated in that fashion for that movie to work. For me.
For you?
For me. The whole plot hinged on that.
Yeah, I feel like the whole audience felt that way, too.
Yeah.
Just the vibe you got when you were there.
Speaking of the audience, it was very diverse. In fact, I'm old, he's young. I read comic books a lot. He doesn't read much of anything. The backs of shampoo bottles when he's in the bathroom sometimes. That's about all he reads. My girlfriend went. She has no interest in comic books, but pretty much across the board, everybody enjoyed it.
Lots of laughs.
They slid a lot of Easter eggs in for people that were fans of the comic books, but you didn't have to be fans of the comic books.
Stan Lee was the...
That was the greatest Stan Lee cameo ever.
Awesome.
He was the DJ in the strip club. Stand alone, I don't care. That is my favorite.
It's hilarious.
And I really am curious to know what Marvel's reaction to that was. Because, you know, he's like their goodwill ambassador.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I bet Stan enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah.
I could kind of tell that he did. If he does nothing else with the rest of his career, the strip club DJ was his zenith.
His zenith.
There you go. Colossus was another great addition to this movie. He was a character that even as a comic book fan, I could never care about. Russian dude, always just... I don't know. They portrayed him perfectly at the end when he's giving the speech to Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
That's him in the comic book. He doesn't even get to be that interesting in the other X-Men movies. He's just in the background. He had a Hardee's commercial once where he ate a big hamburger.
That's horrible.
They just hadn't done anything with him. I would watch that character as portrayed in that movie now in his own movie.
Really?
I would. If the same guy directed it and it was like a comedy action.
Oh, okay.
People reacting to him. Not him carrying the movie, but kind of like this. And Negasonic Teenage Warhead is another complete throwaway character from the comic books. Like, complete throwaway character that they made work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
To do that.
I also, you know, one of the things, he made mention of it, He went to the X-Men mansion, the X Mansion. No one else was home. They showed a couple shots, and it was only those two both times. You know, I guess they couldn't afford any other actors, but at least they made mention of it. And they did use the X-Men's Blackbird jet to take off early in the movie, so that, for the comic book guy, that made it for me. Now we're going to rate this movie, if you're ready. Here comes the rating.
99. I really liked it, but there's always just like a little more room for improvement. But besides that, it was awesome. I've never seen a movie like it before.
Much like him, although I'm not as kind, I'm going to say 97, and I'm a huge Deadpool fan.
That's still pretty kind.
And I can't pick out anything in this movie, not one scene that I would have changed. Not one single scene, and I'm still only going to give it a 97. This is as close to the characterization in a comic book and the action that you get from a real comic book as it's in the top 3. Dark Knight Returns, Winter Soldier, and this movie. Each character is different. Captain America is very different from Deadpool, but the translation of Deadpool in this, very accurate. Those of you that don't read comic books but enjoyed this story, I will give you my recommendation for a Deadpool book to go out and buy. You can buy like a graphic novel. Find, and this is, you're going to be like, that's not Deadpool. Yes, it is. The graphic novel is going to be Thunderbolts. Now, it's not a Deadpool-only graphic novel, but that kind of helps because sometimes, like Deadpool, page after page of him just shooting people in the face. In a movie, it's awesome. In a comic book,
yeah.
in the hands of the wrong writer, it wears you out. In the Thunderbolts, he teams up with the Punisher, the Red Hulk,
that's pretty cool,
and Elektra from Daredevil. And they go across country killing people. Good times had by all. And in later issues, they have Venom from Spider-Man join up and also Ghost Rider.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a bunch of ass kicking all around. So yeah, check out the Thunderbolts graphic novel if you enjoyed this version of Deadpool. I say this version because when he first started, he was completely different.
Really?
And as time kind of went on, they progressed him into this ultra-violent, psycho, babbling madman that he is now, which we all seem to enjoy. Anything you want to add on the way out? I think I will go see this movie a second time.
Really?
Yeah.
It was good. Definitely good.
I'll wait a couple weeks. There's only very few movies I would ever want to go see like 2 or 3 times in a movie theater, but this is in that list.
I like Star Wars, but I just couldn't do that again.
Yeah, we only made it once.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It was good.
Something about this movie, the frenetic pace, and it feels kind of disjointed, is easy for me to go see twice. And on the way out, the last thing they said, the end credits for those of you that don't want to stick around, spoiler, he promises that Cable will be in the sequel. Now, I don't mean like cable TV. That doesn't mean he's going to sit and watch a bunch of channels. The character Cable, who is right up there with Deadpool in body count and blood. He just has no sense of humor.
Oh.
So, Deadpool and Cable had their own book together.
Oh.
Deadpool did the jokes, Cable did the
You
killing.
should have recommended that. No?
That's for the next movie.
Oh.
Although, maybe you can check that out so in 2 years when they get that made. If you don't think that they're not started after this weekend, they're making that movie tomorrow. They're figuring that shit out quick. Which I hope doesn't translate into a sucky movie because they had a long time to make this. And the guy that directed this movie, Tim Miller, first movie he ever directed in his life.
Really?
50 years old.
We did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, most people's first movie is something like Clerks where they're, in black and white, trapped in a little room.
That movie was still pretty good.
Hell yeah. Tim Miller had a lot of experience, though. He did a lot of work in video games, which perfect for this movie. I think the future is going to go to a lot of these guys that are game designers or making games, translating into movie directors, especially for comic book movies because 40% of it's...
Yeah, there's a lot of, digital effects and, yeah.
Though, the digital effects in this were real good. There was never one point where I was like, oh, I'm watching a video game.
Yeah.
Which is next to impossible when you've got Colossus fighting Deadpool. That's all CG.
Really?
Although,
that's impressive.
I saw some shots of the bridge scene. Ryan Reynolds was in the suit.
Yeah.
Like, when he was standing there, it wasn't just him dubbing. He actually put the suit on and did the acting. The way he acted on the bridge when he's talking to Colossus was a fishing pole with a tennis ball. And when he was doing line of sight, he was talking to a tennis ball. That's how he was acting.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good acting.
And then when you really go into it, see, now he's wearing a mask. So he's doing his lines, then they had to go back and double them because he's speaking through muffled whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he put in a lot of work. He didn't even really need to be on the bridge, I guess, if he didn't want to. He could have just done the voice, but he was committed. So thumbs up, Ryan Reynolds.
Good job. I know he's watching this.
Yeah, I know he'll see this. 20th Century Fox owes you, buddy. They owe you like 3 horrible movies that you get to make because you brought this to them. All right. That wraps that up. Now you guys see why we don't do more movie reviews, because we just ramble about shit.
Yeah.
And ramble.
And ramble.
And
ramble on.
Tomorrow we'll get back to doing food reviews where we eat stuff and shut up. Well, we don't really shut up. We talk a lot in the food reviews too.
Yeah. I guess they're about used to that now.
I guess so.
All
right. Maybe we'll do the Batman versus Superman or Superman versus Batman review when it comes out. If I can drag this guy.
You can drag me to it.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to eat some potato chips. Stay vigilant.